Hi everyone! I'm excited to demonstrate today the 7 most important physical gestures called touch releases that a pianist can master. They are some of the most essential techniques that students learn and reinforce when they study from the Succeeding at the Piano series. Using these specific touch releases helps students play every articulation written on the page, shape phrases convincingly, listen to a beautiful sound, helps them to be independent learners, and helps students become way above average players compared to those who do not learn these techniques. And overall, these 7 physical gestures or touch releases help students to play with body-friendly technique, which means that they play with physical freedom with an excellent tonal palette. Therefore, students learn how to not play tightly, awkwardly, all cramped up in their bodies, and without good sound production. There are so many artistic ways to experiment with these 7 touch releases, and by doing so, students can create their own artistic personality and can play with so many different tonal colors. Please follow along with me as I take you through these mighty 7. The drop and roll motion is the very first technique. The basic gesture of dropping one's arm weight to the bottom of the keys and then rolling one's weight out of the keys, wrist and forearm first. This is needed for the shaping of phrases and any kind of beautiful playing. The push-off touch release. Arm weight is used to drop the wrist and forearm to the bottom of the key, and then the wrist and forearm push forward quickly for a crispy, snappy sound. Notice the wrist springing up from the key, or my palm, much like an ice skater would do as they would start a jump. So they would go down on their knees, and then they would push off of their knees, and their body will move forward for a jump. The sound will change depending on the quickness of the attack of the note, the quickness of the release, and how far the hand is released from the keyboard. The push-off. You'll notice that I use it after every 5-note little motive in the right hand. Here's the entire arabesque piece by Bergmuller. So we can see the push-offs at work in the right hand in the A section, and then in the B section, you'll see them in the left hand. The kickoff touch release. This release has a relatively sharp initial attack on the keys and a short release from the keys. Your hand, wrist, and forearm form a strong bridge and work as one playing unit. The wrist does not bend on the way down or on the way up. So start on the keys or start on your palm and move forward to the wood of the piano. You'll notice that there is a little slight release on the way up so that the student does not feel tension when they play. Often the kickoff has a short, sharp release, but it can also have a quieter sound with a less sharp release. Experiment with this sound so that you can hear the difference in the sounds that you create. The rebound staccato. The hand, wrist, and forearm move downward as one playing unit. Throw your playing unit into the key and rebound back up, wrist first. This technique is used for staccato melodies and for repeated notes. The tissue box touch release is similar to the push-off, except that the wrist gently moves up instead of forward. The sound that it produces is quiet and often wispy. This touch release itself has a soft attack and a gentle release. The portato is a touch and a sound between staccato and legato. Think of it as a sticky feel and sound. Drop your arm weight to the bottom of the keys, then slowly push out of the keys with your wrists and forearms, lifting your weight from the bottom. The weight of your arm should be centered over the fingers that you play. Your torso and forearm shift to exactly where the chords are played on the piano. The Hammerstroke. This technique is for repetitive articulations where precision and rhythmic accuracy is important. The hand is very close to the keys at all times. The technique is like that of the kickoff, where the playing unit consists of the hand, wrist, and forearm that move at the same time as one playing unit. However, the main difference is that the playing unit moves downward like a hammer pounding on a piece of wood, on a nail, or a woodpecker pecking, a very large woodpecker, pecking the side of a tree. Like that. Now I'm going to play Jack Frost, which has a strong hammer stroke. And then towards the end of that section, it has a little hammer stroke. So very light. And then there's a rebound staccato in the B section. So have the student really think about a flexible wrist. So it's really going to be a good choreographic moment where they move their wrist in various places in the air above the keys. All right, so here is Jack Frost. That piece is by Rebound, who wrote lots and lots of etudes during the Romantic era, and this particular piece was arranged by Edwin McLean. Students in the early levels of succeeding at the piano learn the very basic staccato touch release, which is imaginatively called the woodpecker touch release. Now in the final level of the Succeeding at the Piano series, grade 5, students learn how to vary the sound and intensity by changing the physical motion so that they can play much more difficult repertoire. Some ideas for using grade 5 of Succeeding at the Piano or Piano Success. It's definitely the last level students learn in this comprehensive series, or you can use it as an excellent book for transfer students who undoubtedly haven't had this kind of technique training yet in their piano studies. For even more information, please go to my website, www.helenmarley.com.